Take your success to the next level. Become a member of the Bestseller Portal, the ultimate platform for achievers like you. Join Bestseller Portal now in 3 easy steps. Step 1. Type www.bestsellerportal.org in your browser. Step 2. Click Membership and fill in your details. Step 3. Submit and welcome to a world of success. Welcome to the Bestseller Portal family. Your success journey starts here. Be the best version of yourself with the support of the best. Visit now and thrive at www.bestsellerportal.org.
Welcome to another broadcast of The Competitive Edge. Today, our topic is money, and money is a common denominator. And in today's world, everyone needs money. But what we have seen is that we have millions of people across the world who are trying very hard to position themselves for their financial breakthrough. We have seen that in many years gone by, they've talked the story of go to school, get a good education, get a good job. And with a good job, in a few years, you should be able to access financial freedom. But in today's world, we are seeing that persons with first degree and second degree, they're still working paycheck to paycheck. And what we will do today is to examine some techniques and strategies and perhaps look into the mindset of millionaires to really help you to understand what are their formula and possibly how you can adopt their formula to position yourself for financial independence. Today with me in studio, I have 2 dynamic personalities. I have Paul Whitehouse, and Paul Whitehouse, he is a specialist in finance. He is the person that really talks to you about accessing multiple types of financial instruments to help your business to grow. So I'm certain that he will be able to tell you a lot of how to start thinking big, thinking like a millionaire. And I also have Frank, and Frank is an economist by profession. He's also a John Maxwell leader. And as an economist, I know that he has a rich background also in economic development issues and finance. And I'm certain that he will be able to make a significant contribution to today's program. Now, joining me on stage is Shivani and Sinarayan. And Shivani, she is also a project management practitioner. And of course, if you're on that journey to position yourself to build wealth, you should have a project management consultant on your side to really help you to understand smarter ways to navigate that project. So with that being said, I want to welcome my dynamic team here today as we get into that topic of looking at leadership, business, and money. Now, what I want to do, and I'm going to come to Paul just now for you to talk to us a little bit about financial instruments. But what I want to do, I want to share with the public some of the programs that we have developed. And I'm happy to say that we have now one of the biggest social media platform who have just adopted our programs for mass distribution across the world. As time progresses, I'll talk more about that. But one of the projects that we are looking at is what we call the 5-step millionaires. Because we are seeing that many persons are trying to position themselves to come into financial independence. But in spite of how hard they are trying, they are not being successful. Why? Because one of the things that I say is that people are not trained to see wealth creation through the lens of art and science. Now, in our 5-step millionaire program, we have basically identified 5 essential steps that if you learn them, apply them, and master them, you will be in a much better position to attain financial independence. I'm going to briefly look at step one. The first step to position yourself to become financial independent, you have to, first of all, position yourself as a problem solver. You have to be prepared to solve big problems. If you're not seeing yourself in this context, in this light, as the individual who can fix big problems, solve big problems, you have already undermined your chance to position yourself for financial greatness. And there are a number of things that you can do when it comes to solving big problems. And let me give an example. We have many businesses across the world that wants to grow and expand. You can be the person who becomes a BFC, a business finance consultant. And in this process, you're helping businesses that needs growth capital to access the much needed capital to grow their vision. And we have Paul, who is a lead personnel in this particular regard. And just think about the financial benefit. Let us suppose that you have one company that needs $100 million and you're just being paid 1%. 1% of that $100 million. Guess what? You're actually being paid $1 million. $1 million. And just think about this. Let us suppose that you are not complacent with one client per year. Your target is to have 100 clients per year. What I was saying is that if you do the maths well, you're positioning yourself now to become now a $100 million income earner, annual income earner. Is it possible? Yes, it is. And that is exactly why you need to start thinking big and help businesses solve big problems. I'm going to pause here for now, and I'm going to turn to Paul to have Paul talk to us about big thinking and some of the financial instruments that you have. All to you, my friend.
Thank you, Gary. Good morning, everybody. Big thinking is required. I really like, I agree with almost everything that you say on business, Gary, and solve big problems. Yeah, solve big problems. Shivani, as a project manager, is solving the big problem of how do we pull it all together, working on large projects. Uh, with leadership, okay. How can I put this the right way? If you don't have the right person installed and the right thinking in mind, then you have to have big things. I mean, you can open a pizza shop, and that's still a big deal, right? Or you can open a factory and everything in between, but you're going to need leadership, management, and capital for all of it. So, as far as solving big problems, absolutely. And that's what we do at Patriot Business Finance Consultants is solve problems. We got a call yesterday from a video, and I'm very happy about this because it's from a video. I asked, how did you get a hold of me? He said, I saw a video you made 2 years ago. So small things that we do add up and still help us down the road, but it's a pretty large deal. And it's funny because honestly, a lot of times when a deal gets to me, I could tell that it's been through other people before that they couldn't have solved. They didn't solve it, right? I don't know why they didn't solve it, and I don't have all the details yet. A referral source called me, told me about this yesterday. They're setting up an appointment. I hope to talk to the customer today to really get into it, but they've got a big problem. They need to refinance a very expensive property, and they had a deadline and they're past the deadline. So there's definitely something I don't know, but I get to tear into it and find out what the problem is and see if I can solve it. And by all the information I had yesterday, and I have a lot of it, I think I can solve it. I don't see the problem, and I don't understand why it hasn't been solved at this point. So that's like those are the types of things that you can work on along with me and Gary if you do contact us and you want to be a business finance consultant, because that's what we want you to be. It's a new year, get a new career, do something big, work with us. 25% of the profit that we make on the deal would be yours. And that can be quite a lot of money. It's a lot of money if it's a small deal. If you're doing a small deal, let's say you do a $40,000 equipment lease, bring that deal to us and we get it done. How much would we charge? We charge $2,500, $3,000 to do that. And if you brought us the deal and we got it accomplished, you've literally probably got less than 2 or 3 hours of your time invested into a deal like that to help somebody get $40,000 worth of equipment. So if we make $3,500 and 25% of that is yours, that's $875 for 3 hours of effort and work. Maybe 4 hours because you got to put effort into your marketing and becoming a brand. So you got to build up into that too. That certainly counts towards deal. But when you get a hold of somebody, you're going to talk to them, explain it to them. Simple, easy after we train you to do it. You've got little time. And for a small deal, small $40,000, that's how much you can make. Imagine if the deal was $500,000 worth of equipment. And people need $500,000 worth of equipment because everything is expensive these days. So I guess long story short, Patriot Business Finance Consultants, equipment financing, the best of credit, the worst of credit, we can make it happen. Real estate financing, same thing, best of credit, worst of credit, we can make it happen for the clients. Cash flow products, if your cash flow is slow, we have solutions for you. You have accounts receivable, they're your greatest asset. You can sell them for a small discount and get cash now. Okay. Purchase order financing, raising capital. We do all of that through a list of lenders and contacts. We do it the best way possible for the customer, get the least expensive money first for the customer. We do the best service for them. And that's what we do. As far as being a business finance consultant, everything I described, you can do that for business owners also with us. So that's what we want. DM Gary, email me, paul@patriotbfc.com. And on the subject of, doing big things, it's so possible. Push a couple buttons on LinkedIn and you'll meet people you don't know. Look who I'm hanging around with. The lovely Shivani, right? And these two guys right here, I got them through connections, just pushing buttons on LinkedIn or being on the Clubhouse app. And now I'm rubbing shoulders with an economist, an equity investor, and a project manager. So big things are possible if you go for it. So go for it. That's it. Go for it.
All right. Go for it. I have to support that 100%. I'm going to come to Shivani shortly, but I just want to say a little bit, sometimes I believe that people are scared to think big. People have been quiet down so much. The right word, I would say dumb down so much that very often they're scared to think big. Well, we are here not to babysit you in your fear and in your doubts and in your limited belief, but we are here to push you forward to become a big thinker. And we know that becoming a big thinker, a lot will have to change with you. You have to start believing in yourself. You now need to have belief in yourself that is strong like steel. And I really mean strong like steel. All right. But on that point of believing in yourself, Shivani, I'm not going to come to you. Give me 1 second. Let me come to Frank. Because I want Frank to really come in here with leadership and believing in self and, going after big things. As a leader, my friend, what would you say to the average person who's thinking small but wants to achieve big things? Frank.
Is the irony, if you think small, you will achieve small. If you think big, you'll achieve big. The it just makes sense that when we dream, most of us will dream of being a millionaire, a movie star, the biggest and the brightest, more famous. And so it's in our innate nature to dream big. Achieving that is something different. There are roads for achievement of those dreams. But the end of the day, if you want to achieve big, if you want to go somewhere, so you can get the money that you're chasing, it comes with work. I think one of the reasons why people get distracted and become non-committal is because when they realize the work that has to go into achieving the bigness, the greatness, it's too much for them. Some people, especially businessmen that I come across, for them leadership doesn't matter. They simply concentrate on making the money. They dream with this money and they want to make it, they do whatever they can. That's fine. It makes perfect sense. But is it the way to create a business that's healthy and robust and has strong potential for the future? Let me put it like this. You can make money without being a good leader, but you can't build a sustainable long-term business without being a good leader. Businesses need to make money. You dream about it, you want to make it profitable. A profitable business is best for employees, it's best for shareholders, it is best for the customers. So you need people who concentrate on fulfilling tasks and getting results. Let's call them money makers. In a law firm, for example, they're the lawyers, they're partners. They bring in the top hourly rate. In a car showroom, they're the ones closing deals, pushing upgrades, selling finance packages. In ad agencies, they're the lead creators. Think Don Draper in Mad Men. Think knocking up an entire campaign over a post-lunch Ryan Dry. These people are fundamental to the business operation because they're the ones securing the income. If you're not sure who they are in your business, you ask HR. They'll be the ones whose talent they value the most highly and protect the most fiercely. So the smart business owner or MD will also recognize them and do everything they can to hang on to their golden goose. So you're dreaming on how to get all this together. You need sustainable leadership because sustainable leadership looks very different. While a business money makers can concentrate single-mindedly on the task at hand, a great leader needs a broader and longer field of view, bigger vision. And this is different from the classic model of the heroic leader who single-handedly saved the day. We're not talking about Scott of the Antarctic or Winston Churchill here. We're talking about someone who understands the deal in order to see the big picture. Someone who builds relationships and engages in people's hearts and heads. Business demands this all-round awareness in a way that other contexts don't. And the closest parallel is in sport, where the captain, whose team prepares rigorously and performs superbly, will win more often than not. Running a better race will lead to bigger improvements than concentrating on individual results. And in a lot of cases, the people who bring money into business are the ones who work their way to the top. It's not just about having the dream, it's about working the dream, building the dream. And when they get there, they find it's tougher than they expected. Some people never get to concentrate on doing these because they've got so many different demands to balance. For a money maker, who find themselves in the driving seat, it can be a real challenge to see how they need to change. I have some advice I can offer a little later, but that's it for me for now.
All right. Um, Frank, while I support that positioning yourself for financial greatness is heavily influenced by hard work, I also want to add this: it's heavily influenced by smart work. And what exactly do I mean by smart work? Because sometimes we see that you're working hard, but hard work doesn't necessarily translate into economic freedom, into financial independence. What do I, consider to be smart work? Smart work means that you are market oriented. Smart work means that you're market sensitive, and smart work means that you're market responsive. In other words, what I'm saying in simple terms is that before you take the first step to position yourself to build wealth, you want to understand the paths that are open for you to build wealth. That's called market orientation. You need data. If you don't have the information, you could be journeying along a path that don't have the short nor long-term financial return. But the information is there, but you don't have it. So you are targeted on a particular path where you're not going to get the results. A quick example that I want to give here. Um, Data says to you that in the United States of America today, there is a 4 million housing shortage that we have currently. So what that is saying, the individual who is able to get there within the shortest possible time and bill based on those needs, they're fulfilling market needs. So they're being market oriented here, they're being market sensitive here, and they're being market responsive here. They have the highest chance to cash flow. And that's what data does. So working smart also is an essential part of the equation. And again, you must position yourself to think big. When you want to position yourself for greatness, you must be develop that mindset that is tough like steel. Because I want to say this, as you set yourself up to start to become that big thinker, there are going to be many persons in your circle of influence that may say to you, why do you want to go that far? All right. They're going to be measuring you based on how they see themselves. All right. They might be thinking in a cocoon and thinking small and believe that that's all you deserve to do for yourself. But you have to break away from any shackle that is going to limit you based on their limited belief. You have to believe in yourself. So I'm going to pause here for now and I'm going to come to beautiful Shivani to really help us to understand the role that project management plays in positioning business leaders or anyone to achieve big dreams. I love project management again, Shivani, because the fact that if I'm doing a real estate project, I need project management. If I am doing sales and marketing and market research, I need project management. It's a vital part of the puzzle. So all to you, Shivani.
Thanks. Thanks a lot, Gary. Now, we are speaking about how to think big, right? How to think
Mm.
big, how to position yourself, how to ensure that you get the financial freedom. Project management definitely is a tool, a set of tools that can really assist us. But in project management, I wanted to speak today about design thinking. Now, what really is design thinking? We want to solve problems because in order to make money, you have to find a problem or get an opportunity. And you just start to think big about it and try to, solve what we say pain points, right? So to get financial freedom and you want to, you really want now to make money. How do you do it? Design thinking is a strategy, is a tool. Well, I say it's a tool. It's a 5-step approach that can help us in any area. It helps me a lot in projects. I use it all the time in project management. It starts with empathy. So the 5-step model works like this: empathy, define, ideate, prototype, and tests. So it is a 5-step model that helps you to come about with the idea, because you want to be able to come about with an idea. And then you are able to ideate, come about with more ideas, prototype it, and test it. Now, you want to think big, you want to have financial freedom, you have to come about with a product that will work, which is part, and you run it as part of your project. You may have, you're in leadership, you're in a business, and sometimes you can just see a problem there and try to solve it. It's a challenge. You reframe it. We call it reframing the challenge. Once persons understand, and as we keep saying, people don't know what they don't know, right? You don't know what you don't know. Once you understand design thinking, you can take it in any field. You could come about with the problem. Well, you know what is the problem. You can solve the problem, and you can even now come about with a new product. I have used design thinking with many entrepreneurs. We did it with winemaking, bottle of wine. We did it with chocolate, and new products were formed, new ideas. Because of this 5-step approach, we came about with new products. I've used it in business, where we are able to commercialize certain properties just because we looked at design thinking. So we want to become better problem solvers. We want to see opportunities. How do we do it? Look at design thinking, which is a 5-step approach that can start up the project, because you need to start up some project, you need to get an idea. So, you just can't go into project management just like that. You need to be able to get the idea. Where did it come from? Empathy. Now, empathy is one of the best stages for me. It starts everything, because you listen to the customer, you listen to the client, and then you do an empathy map. So you really know what people want, So 5-step approach, Gary, allows you, it's a model design thinking. It allows you now to solve any problem, come about with some challenge and solve it, form a new product, come about with new ideas, test it, and make it work. It allows people to become more innovative as well. So it's great things, design thinking. Thanks a lot, Gary.
All right. Shivani, I do believe that you're on to something that is important, design thinking. The question I want to ask Shivani, in your experience, how long does it take for the average man to not only internalize the concept, but to become effective in applying that concept? I am asking the question because I do believe it can help the individual to develop that big thinking mindset that we're talking about here today. How long does it, in your view, does it take for that person to master the concept?
So when we did it with winemaking, local wine market, that we will see, this person did it in 3 weeks. Now she already had a product. This person already had a product and wanted to improve the product. So in 3 weeks, well, of course, I was her design thinking coach, and you go through the process. So in 3 weeks, we were able to know what is out there again. So it was not a long process for her. It may be 6 weeks, I will say 6 to 7 weeks for somebody to really grasp this and understand how it works in their environment. 6 to 7 weeks for a newbie, we'll see.
For a newbie. All right, thanks for that share, Shivani. In starting today's program, one of the things that I mentioned is that people need to believe in themselves. All right, you rise and you fall based on your sense of self. So if you want to position yourself for business greatness or financial greatness or any type of greatness, the foundation of that really hinges on your belief in self. So this is what I want to say. Your sense of self can hold you back. And in many cases, this happens because you are a big thinker, but you're not really exposed into an environment that is helping you to nurture that, to make it practical. So you still have the theory of what you want to become, you don't have the practice. So that belief in itself is holding you back. In some cases, you have the reverse. You're not a big thinker, You don't have a lot of confidence, and but you know that there's more that you want to achieve, but you just don't know how. Now, what we have documented in the program that we have developed, Five Step Millionaires, tremendous emphasis is placed on your sense of self, because we know that you can never ever grow beyond your sense of self. Your sense of self holds you back. It can keep you stagnant, or it can push you forward. And I'm really trusting that today you're getting a lot of information from these experts to really get up and say to yourself, today moving forward, I'm going to push myself forward after achieving big things, my dreams, my hopes, my aspiration. You may want to start a business. You don't have to struggle to access capital, because we have a financial specialist here that is going to help you to understand various type of financial instruments and ensure that you get it. You're starting a business, you don't have to study about access to market, because you have experts and professional here that has built out global platforms that is going to help to give you visibility all across the world. I've just mentioned to you that we have just been partnering with one of the biggest social media platforms in the world. In the world, I'm going to talk about that later on. That allows us to have a much bigger landscape to get information out into billions of people's hands. Yes, we have just become partner with one of the biggest social media platforms. So I'm saying to you, as you set yourself up to become big thinkers, you have an ecosystem of all the talents that you're seeing here and so much more that is going to really work with you and help you to attain the big dreams that you have for yourself. So you don't have to study about access to capital. You don't have to study about access to market, because you don't have to study about project management. You don't have to study about leadership, because we have built out a unique platform just for you. So I want to open up a little bit to really ask my team I want Paul to talk a little bit more about financial instruments. And then I want to open up a little bit and really ask you to share with me some of the fears you might have seen in your clients, in people that wants to achieve great things. And I have some stories to share, but I want Paul to start by talking to us a little bit about financial instruments. All to you, Paul.
Thank you. Okay. What I'm going to say right now, I'm just going to touch off on what I ended on last time, and that's going to lead right into what you just asked. Okay. Big thinking means you got to put on a different hat, and you should be able to do that quickly, or hopefully develop into being able to adjust quickly with everything. Okay, where I live at, the Rust Belt, northeast of the country, lots of people lost their job when the steel mills closed. They literally shut down, and people lost jobs that they had for 15 years. They were a steel worker. That's what they did. Well, what do you do when that happens? Now, you're either going to have to put on a different hat by you're forced to do it because your employer fired you or closed. That's a forced change of identity. Or there's a change of identity that you want to happen. You got a great job, you're happy with it, or you don't have a great job and you don't like it, but you want to own a business of some sort. So you have to think big, and you have to be able to change your identity, put on a different hat, and become that person. I had to become the money person. I'm the guy you call when you want that. I want to be known for that. You're approved, right? And I got a new girl working for us from the Freeway Millionaires Club, because we work with them. And she put it perfectly. She gets it. And she's picking this stuff up quick. She said, I need to be known as the girl. I need to always be talking about money in my social media, so they'll recognize that I'm the one to call for that. And I said, yes, you're exactly right. You get it. Think big. She's changing her role and she's thinking big. Okay. Anybody who's going to change their role needs to be able to just change identities. I've changed identities a couple times in my life. I was at the police department. Boom. I became a car salesman. Boom. Became a business owner. I worked in the mortgage business. I changed identities that many times. And it's really that simple. I don't think it's complicated. Be willing to do it and just take on the character. You don't want it to be a character. You want to grow into actually who you are, but you're taking on a new character, a new role in life. So, okay, financial things that we've got available. Here's one of the training methods that we use. So if you do join us to be business finance consultants, it's called role playing, not the weird type. Role playing. Okay. The girl from the Freeway Millionaires Club, her name's Barbara. We've switched back and forth. She's the business owner. She's interviewing me, and I'm presenting what I do to her. Then we switch roles. I'm the business owner, and she is taking what she just learned from me, what she just heard me say, and she's putting it into live action. And we identify who the customer is. I'm a customer with good credit, or I'm a customer with difficult credit, or I'm a customer that's going to be difficult and give her a lot of pushback. Why would I use you instead of just going to my bank? And there's a lot of good reasons for that. But in the type of training that we're doing with this role playing training, she's learning quick, and that leads me into financial products. I could list them all for you. There's a lot, but let's just talk about one. You need working capital. How do you get it quick? Lines of credit are a way to get working capital, but they're expensive. What's a less expensive way to get the money that you need? Because that is what we do at Patriot Business Finance Consultants. We solve that problem. We help you get the least expensive money under the best circumstances. You could get a line of credit. Those are subject to annual review, and the cost of money is expensive. It's unsecured debt. Well, let's use an asset. Do you own equipment free and clear? Yeah, I've got 3 bulldozers and 2 dump trucks that I own free and clear. We can pull money out of that in the form of a sale leaseback. A leasing company will buy the equipment from your company. They'll take title to it and own it. They'll leave it there. You use it to make money, and you repay the monthly debt or pay it off early, whatever you want to do. And you own your equipment again. You're pledging an asset. You're giving up an asset, giving up title for it, and you can get that cash quickly. A sale leaseback provides that. I personally believe it's safer than a line of credit, and I know it's less expensive. So that's one product that we offer. There's too many. I mean, I can tell you about 6 or 7 products, financial products. But our goal at Patriot is to help you, and with the high, competitive edge and the high net worth investors guide, our goal working together is to get you the least expensive money, and we can get that accomplished for you. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. If you got difficult credit, we got you approved too. Let's get you on the road to recovery in that manner. Very important. Don't wait.
Yep. Like that share, Paul. You see, what Paul is emphasizing here, you have a business and you want to grow, you want to scale. Why struggle to raise the capital when the capital is right here, right in front of you? All right. We will negotiate for the best terms. We will leverage our expertise to ensure that you're able to access it in the shortest possible time. We're going to give you the business support that you need to grow and scale, not just locally. All right. We are not small thinkers here. We're going to take you global. We have the expertise with it to make it happen. All right. So I want us to look at a question. Does fear holds leaders back? And let me tell a little story. I can recall many, many years ago, I was helping a client to grow. They had one business, one project activities that was being done, but they had a lot of floor space. So my thoughts is, hey, this is what I can do. I can help you grow and scale and cash flow optimize. But I want to do it in style. I want to do it in a way that it doesn't necessarily break the bank, meaning that in expanding any business, it's going to be capital intensive. But the strategy that I intend to use here was to help the individual to scale their business and allow the income that is being generated to offset the overheads. But it didn't have an additional expense like for rent and light bill and all of that. So it was just labor force expense mainly. So we started that process, and that process started to work beautifully. In month one, they had a break even. They didn't have to go into their own pocket to pay staff, but they had a few other type of business that was set up to really set the stage to increase cash flow. By the second and third month, guess what? The business just started to take off, but now the individual is taxed with managing one portfolio now into managing three or four different portfolio and perhaps don't have the management skill. And guess what? They panic, they fold, and I think that that entire vision collapsed um, for some time. Um, how does fear play a role in pushing people forward or pulling them back? I mean, what is your experience as a project management specialist? Um, does fear? How do you help your clients deal with fear, Shivani?
Now, fear is something that is real, right? You may
It's
say that persons, I have seen major players, right? Major players. When I say major players, Gary, um, people who are very educated, very, very educated, and now they're in their management and leadership roles. Now, they may have been very good to a point. When I say very good to a point, they understand in a smaller scale. And I know a couple of weeks ago we were discussing this in a smaller scale, but they cannot move into a larger environment. Now, you can do it, but that is the fear factor. It's not understanding your ability in how to pivot or how to move from small to large. It's something very, very real. You can put a person into an environment and they could be really, really, really good because that's what they're accustomed with. But put them the same type of work that they're doing into a much larger, and there are so many different elements that causes failure. So, yes, this could be done. Anybody, I will always tell everyone, anyone can do it. But do not think that you could just copy the same small, whatever environment it is, and just put it in the large environment to manage and to lead. You're going to be dealing now with thousands of people. You said it's global. How do you do it? So, stakeholder, in my experience, persons needed to build a lot more experience and a lot more, you know, confidence, I should say, in stakeholder engagement and stakeholder management. How so? There's something that's going around on LinkedIn to a report. I hope I get the facts right. So one of it is what are some of the skills for 2024? And one of the major skills would be communication, relationship building, and another one is adaptability, how well you can adapt. And for me, that is the most favorite. How well can somebody now adapt? These are skills that people will need to develop because even if you're in a business, in your organization, you have to be able to adapt. Yes, things will change. I have been in organizations and it crumbled because of that, because people could not have adapted, right? Because people could not have adapted. And that's what we have to note. How do you adapt? How could a leader adapt? So when you don't understand this skill, you'll have fear. You will have fear because something will change there and you don't know how to move. So skills that people need to develop more and more in order to move, in order to think big. will be your ability to adapt. So if I am confident in myself or I have developed that skill, and how do you develop it, huh? Because people have been asking me that a lot. How do you develop it, Gary? Right? The major number one for me would be associate with people who also can do it. Associations are a hell of a thing. Don't associate with somebody who will keep you at one level, and you will know who they are. I could tell you off the bat. I move away from you because I don't want you to influence my thinking at all. Because it's so much that we have to do on a daily basis. So you would know, people would know when I just move away. Yes, I'll still talk to you and I'll say no, Gary, right? But at the end of the day, you are keeping me back in my thinking. You are preventing me from moving. You don't even know that, but I know it. So fear is a hell of a thing. It is something that is real. You might, as the leader in the organization, and Frank will talk a lot about this too. The leader in the organization or your immediate supervisor can cause that, can make you fear, cause fear, because they are now paving a path for you, and however they think can come down to you. So if you're working with me, I want people to think big. Sometimes some people might think I am crazy, but do not think in little small pockets. So fear is real, as we keep saying. How do we adapt? Your ability to adapt will adapt, ADAPT, right? Will allow you to get rid of the fear. You have to learn that skill. I remember someone came to me also. She had a very good idea. She wanted to go to businesses and, actually sell her product and make it was a salsa kind of thing. And I thought it was so good. But she couldn't get over the fact that, I don't know if this will make, I don't know if this will make. I'll put out all my money and it will not make. So she had a fear. And the reason she had that fear is that her environment, as I was telling her environment did not allow this thinking that me, Shivani, can do it, or anybody can do it. You think that, oh gosh, I'll lose all my money. But you have to really understand is the fear of failure as well. The fear of failure, So some great stuff. How to get rid of the fear.
Shivani, I really love that, and I'm smiling because the fear of failure.
I thought you were laughing at the fact that I said I move away from people when they.
No. But I admire that too. Sometimes you got to be tough enough to cut off the limb that is not working, that is holding you back. But what I like also, you drop a lot of gems, but I find sometimes also great leaders at the very, very, very last stage, all right, of fear is when they decide to jump off, because you're now at a place where you do or you die. All right, you do or you die. So I like that concept, and I can relate to that from two major experiences I would have had. I can recall many years ago. I'm doing my stuff, and I'm looking at investment possibilities, but of course I'm approaching it with fear. And I reached that point where I recognized that if I don't do what I need to do, in about a few months, you're going to be financially undermined. And that, because I saw that clear in front of me, I make a leap. And it is one of the best decisions that I would have made at the time. All right. And I did, you see, the fears that we're talking about, we all would have gone through that fears. We all would have grown through some of those fears many years ago. And we want to share those things with you. So you are not allowing fear to hijack the possibility of you coming into financial greatness. And that's why it's necessary to have a mentor, to have a coach, to have an advisor, to have a support community around you that's going to give you the kind of information that will help you to make better, smarter decisions in a shorter period of time. So I love what you said. Frank, what are your thoughts? You're
Thank you.
mute, Brian.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're
Thank
welcome.
you. This thing, fear, is what keeps us from achieving a lot of things in life. Fear is what holds us back. Let me ask the question, why is fear holding you back, especially from addressing finances? The question was asked, do you cringe when the debit card or credit card statement arrives in the mail? Because when you know, if you open this, you probably see a change. And then you question, and then remember, oh yes, I did order something online. And sometimes we feel stuck in our finances. And so fear builds. Now, these are normal responses because we have a human brain, and your brain is designed to avoid danger, to seek pleasure, and do as little work as possible. And this is called the motivational triad. It worked and has worked for thousands of years. However, it hasn't kept up with our current pleasure seeking, convenience driven environment. We no longer live in a time where we are escaping lines. Marketers are our new threat. So it's easy today to seek pleasure. Hello, Netflix, Chardonnay. You have DoorDash will deliver your takeout. Amazon refills your laundry detergent, and Stitch Fix will send you style clothes, all very conveniently. And the thing about it, when these things are done, it automatically is charged to your card. So no wonder we are overspending as a culture and creating more fear about addressing finances. Because the human brain wants us to avoid dangers or painful, difficult situations. That warning is very helpful when it says, don't walk across campus alone in the dark, or don't drive if you've been drinking. Excellent advice. However, your human brain is also telling you that addressing your finances is hard. It will require discipline. You aren't up for the task, you'll never have enough, and we really like all the pressure of convenience right now. We can all relate. This meant to be helpful warning. Um, one very similar thing is to start creating your money fear. I can be a sneaky underlying thought that you don't even know this is happening. Another one that can come up is you're not good with money. Remember you didn't like maths in school. Just pour another glass of wine, continue online shopping, and maybe someone will waive all your debt. And this is how fear builds. We replay the past or tell ourselves stories about how hard it would be to make a change. And the fear creates avoidance until you're lying awake in the night or crying in your back because you don't know how you're going to pay the rent or make the minimum payments on your debt. And so the fear escalates. And when you lose your source of income or your pleasure seeking spending, it overtakes your brain. So you can use fear to your advantage. It can be your own wake up call, your invitation to override that motivational triad. You can take back power and stop living in the default primitive thinking. You can activate your planning. Evolve, pray your brain and choose to think something like, let me address my finances. I know it's going to be hard, but I am worth it. Or I'm going to learn how to manage my money. Or I can figure my money out. Or I can do hard things. Whichever thought resonates best with you. But that's your unique journey. You choose the intentional thought that moves you forward towards growth. And your new intentional thought will create a feeling of hope, a feeling of responsibility, a feeling of encouragement. And any of those feelings will point you toward the action of addressing your finances and learning about money and how to earn it and spend it wisely. And depending on your situation, It doesn't mean you have to eliminate all pleasurable, convenient items from your life, but it does mean you make those decisions mindfully each month, not on auto renewal. And this can take practice. Show yourself some grace as you move away from fear toward hope. Making money is often um, tied to our ability to provide for ourselves, to provide for our families and future goals. However, we know that people experience fear and anxiety when it comes to earning money, and this fear may prevent them from pursuing lucrative opportunities or taking risks that could yield financial success. So, if you, listener, have a fear of making money, here are some tips to help you overcome your money blocks. One is to identify the root of your fear, because to overcome your fear of making money, essential to identify where it's coming from. Do you have a fear of success? Do you have fear of failure, of judgment, of making mistakes, or something else? So, knowing the root of your fear can help you address it more effectively and spend time reflecting on your thoughts and your feelings about money. Nothing is wrong with making money. Are there any specific situation experience that trigger this fear? You need to secondly challenge your limiting beliefs. Many people have limiting beliefs around money, such as money is evil or rich people are greedy. And these beliefs can hold us back from pursuing financial goals. The third one is educate yourself on money. Having a better understanding of finances can help you feel more confident and less fearful of making money. So you read books, you take courses, you talk to financial experts in order to gain knowledge and build your skills. And the more you learn about making money, the more comfortable you'll feel taking risks and pursuing opportunities. And the fourth one is you take small steps. Start with small and manageable ways to make your money, such as taking on a part-time job, sometimes difficult, selling items you no longer need, or doing freelance work. So as you become more comfortable, you can gradually take on bigger opportunities. Surround yourself with supportive people is a fifth step. So you connect with people who have a positive attitude towards money and encouragement and guidance. So you stay away from negative or unsupportive individuals who usually may reinforce your fear. So you need a networking group with like-minded individuals who can help you build your confidence and provide you with opportunities for growth. You need to visualize a success, dream success. Positive visualization can help you overcome your fear of making money. Imagine yourself achieving your financial goals and attaining financial stability. Visualize yourself feeling calm, confident, empowered. And lastly, practice self compassion. It's important to be kind and patient with yourself as you work through your fear of making money. Remember, it's okay to make mistakes, and setbacks are opportunities to learn and grow.
All right, thanks for that share, Frank. No, it was long, but thanks anyway. Um, as persons comes into our program, Five Step Millionaires, we'll talk a lot about fear and how to overcome fear. One of the things that I've used to overcome fear is what we call a three-step approach. You want to become market oriented, meaning that you have intelligence about what you're doing. You want to become market sensitive. You understand more and more about the market, and responsive. You only respond to things after you would have had all the intelligence to help you to make informed and educated decisions. And there's so much more for us to get into. All right. So the five-step millionaire formula is dealing with your self-belief and overcoming fear. So there's a lot for us to talk about there, and we haven't even scratched the surface. I want to encourage you to follow me on social media. where you will begin to get some of these breakdowns that I'm not going into right here. But I want to come right back to Paul and have him chime in. Then I'm going to come, Paul, I want you to talk a little bit about financial instruments, and then I'm going to go around the room, and then we're going to just wrap up for today. Paul, can you talk to us about the BFC? I know in 2024, we have set ourselves a target of creating work opportunities, partnership opportunities for over 100 BFCs. Can you talk to us about some of the benefits in becoming a BFC and something about the financial instruments?
Yeah. Well, benefits of becoming a business finance consultant and working with Patriot Business Finance Consultants to do that and through our network is it's a high-paying career, and it's a new career. And don't be afraid of something new, which is what we're talking about. Fear. Fear stands for forget everything and run, or forget everything and rise. You have a choice. And don't be afraid of something new. Okay. You can even say to yourself, I'm just going to work my regular job and do this at night and that's fine. That's fear's a little red hazard light that comes on and lets you know what's safe, what's not safe. You got to decide if it's safe or not safe, or push through it. But as far as working with us, full training, full support. We're going to teach you how to get customers, teach you how to promote yourself, teach you how to tell people what you do. It's going to be up to you to do it. But if you do it and succeed at doing it and start bringing clients in, we're going to help you close the deals. Me and you will be on the phone with the customer. I'm not just going to leave you alone to do it. And, you just say, well, I didn't get it done because I don't have the experience. I'll close the deal for you. We're on the phone with the customer. You'll hear me explain the process. That's a strong way to learn. We're going to have a couple weeks of training, classroom training via Zoom, and then real life training, which is me being on the phone with you and your client that you get after we teach you how to get the client. Sounds like a lot of work. Why would you want to do it? Because you get a lot of money for doing it. You're not getting paid hourly. You're getting paid on amounts and percentages. And trust me, that's how you make the money, by getting paid on volume and amounts and percentages. So we're going to help you do that. Do you want to do it? You got to answer that for yourself. I hope you say yes, because we want 100 people, because we want to close 1,000 deals a year. That's our goal. And you can be part of that goal with us and get a chunk of that money. Real simple. Get a chunk of that money. Learn how to do it. That's the base. If that's the basis it's got to go, the baseline of it is, and then all the other benefits that you get from it, learning to be a subject matter expert, learning the art of selling, learning, what is money? How does it really work? How does it flow through businesses? That's all the things you're going to benefit from working with us and being a business finance consultant. So Paul at patriotbfc.com, or direct message Gary on any of his platforms. Let's coordinate and let's get you for an interview and training. So equipment leasing, equipment financing, real estate financing, cash flow for your business, raising capital for a startup, large dollar amounts, Securities and Exchange Commission compliant capital raises through our partners, and growth capital for existing businesses with strong financials. That is what we've got available. If you need any of that, call me. Don't wait. Let's do it now. Let's get you done. And if you got difficult credit, let's rebuild your business credit and personal credit by getting financing for you. Make the payments. Your credit score improves. Next year, everything is more beautiful and easier for you. We can help you do all that, and let's do it together. Thanks.
All right, thanks for that share, Paul.
Yeah.
For those who might be listening to us from other parts of the world, when Paul talk about bad credit, he's talking about your FICO score. What we will do for you in Paul case is that if you have, let us say, below 680, because 680 is the average in which most financial institutions want to work with you with. But in cases you might have 350, and we know why you're going to get 350 because you're a rising star in business and you're leveraging personal credit to access capital. And when you leverage your personal credit to access capital, we know sometimes the business doesn't go the way you want it to go. So you have late payment, you may have derogatory or your FICO, and guess what? That lower your credit score. What we do is that once we work with you and get your credit, your FICO score up to where it's supposed to be, we then move you from here straight over to your PAYDEX score. Or while we work with you to get your FICO up, we move you over to a PAYDEX. Now, what is a PAYDEX? Now, you have a personal score as a citizen of the United States of America, but the business also has its own identity. And because the business has a legal identity, the business is now able to develop a personal score, a business credit score that is called the FICO score. We're going to help you with all of this and fix all of this. And then what we're going to do is set you up to start making massive amounts of capital to grow and scale your business. So thanks for that share, Paul. Stop procrastinating. Take action. All right, we're going to now go around each other for the closing remarks. I'm going to start with you, Frank. Frank?
Thanks, Gregory. I just want to end by saying that sustainable, inspiring leaders know the value of connectivity, of building and maintaining relationships. They also understand that a healthy business is like a living organism in which each part influences all the other parts. Which is why you need to think about change carefully. The impact on the whole enterprise, not just what it makes money in the short term, but how it will affect in the long term. Thank you.
All right, thanks for that share, Frank. Shivani, on to you. Your closing remarks.
If I'm in a bad mood when I come to these programs and you say Shavani, I get happy, right? Good to go.
You're
So
welcome.
closing remarks for me. Don't let anything hold you back. Get with persons who can assist you. When you change your environment and you start to be with persons who can really move you and give you better ideas, you would see how you will change as well. So you'll constantly be complaining, because I hear a lot of people complaining a lot. They complain, I don't have financial freedom, I have to go to work every day, and you're complaining. So I am somebody I get vexed, right? When you're coming and telling me these things. I say, you can do it. You are creating the environment that it will not happen. So don't come and tell me, don't come with that with me at all. When you change the environment, and when I say environment, be with people. So something occurred just a couple of weeks ago. A person was complaining a lot. So I said, do a little analysis for me. Tell me everybody that you associate with. What type of job they have? What is their thinking? And they did it and realized what I was saying was true. So she was asking me after, because I do a lot of work with women entrepreneurs, right? She was asking Mr. Shivani what to do, how to get, right? So I put her into different associations. We started to talk to me more. We network a lot more together. And it just started. And she said, wow, it really opened up my mind. It's really opening up my mind. So my advice to everybody is analyze who in your network. When you want to come out of whatever you are in order to get financial freedom, analyze who in your network. Networking is one of the key things that will make or break you, and that you could pivot into another direction very easily. So everything that we are speaking about here, Gary, and Paul and Frank and everybody who's listening, that always is the number one for me. Look at who I am associating with, my environment, and it will change you. Now you can be, some persons are automatically that type of individual, right? That nothing fears them, they are fearless, right? They people might say they come like that, right? In my kind of balance, they come like that. Great. Some people would be like that, and they will be able to think. Then there are certain persons who are not like that. Is that a problem? No, it's not a problem. You have to now know how to become like what you want. Simple. To me, it's a simple formula. It's a simple formula. And my daughter, who's 11 years, I said to myself, okay, I hope it's what I'm saying is true then. So my husband made a salsa, right? We bought a salsa, and I wanted to eat it with some chips, just weekend gone, some chips. And he bought the salsa, but the salsa wasn't yeah, you had to make it a little better, right? So he was adding some tomatoes and cucumbers and different things to really up it then. So then my daughter was saying, 11 years, was saying, so why he doesn't sell that then? Why he doesn't sell that? What is his problem? What is his problem? So in my mind, there would be certain people that can think, hey, this is a product that you could sell. What's your problem? Why are you not doing it? So I guess, as we said, it's your environment and what you associate with. Yeah. And it's Valentine's Day, Gary. So my gift to everybody as I close off is the sweetness of learning, right? The sweetness of learning for Valentine's Day. Learn something is the sweetness of learning. I had a boss long time, and he's retired now, and that's what he said, the sweetness of learning. So I take that, right, for Valentine's Day, the sweetness of learning. Cheers.
Okay. Cheers, Shivani. I was telling the guys earlier that I live every day like, Valentine's Day.
Okay,
You know?
great. Good to go.
Yeah, and I wish that upon everyone, Today, you don't have to wait on one day to start making that someone in your life feel special. You make them feel special every day of life. So I love what you shared, though, Shivani, and really love it. You spoke about the young lady who had wanted to grow, but perhaps was in the wrong environment, and what you did. You helped to catapult her to another level by exposing her to the right environment. And that's what leaders do. That's what we do. All right. We don't want to keep you at the ceiling so we can sit in our chairs and in our throne and say, I'm in control. We want to break you through the ceiling, through the glass ceiling, and give you wings to fly, because that's what good leaders do. We have a lot of leaders in the world who want you to lead, but must never rise above where they're at. And I think that you got a sick mindset. I'm going to say to you, you got a sick mindset. You need to break through that way of thinking and really hold people's hands and give people an opportunity to breathe, to live, to self-actualize. Paul, your thoughts, my friend.
I like what you just said there, self-actualize. Yeah. And, going off of one thing Shivani said, you need to learn, you would want to have the skill of being able to become what you want to be. Take on those characteristics, like learn that skill set. So my final words are, like my friend TJ says, you can and act now. And then don't be afraid. Just collect the information on the subject, whatever you're afraid of. Collect the information on the subject, study it, and decide if the reward is worth the risk. And it probably is. And if it is, don't be afraid to go for it. I really don't think you're going to lose everything in the world with one failure. because all the rich people in the world will tell you that they failed. I think the statistics are it's number 6 or number 7 or 8 business is where they make it at. And everything else, they might have made some money or they might have failed greatly. But imagine if they were all afraid and never took any risk, and they stayed afraid and didn't do it the second or third time. They had to go through a lot of failures. So to get to that one big hit, don't let fear stop you, is my final comment.
Yep. I love that, Paul. You know, the falling down is not a problem. You can fall down as much as you have to. Just make sure that you're learning every time you fall, and make sure you get up. Make sure that you stand up back on your feet and you just keep pushing on, because I'm going to say to you that life is not a fairy tale. All right. You don't have fairy tale God, mom, and dad. Fortunate for you if you're born into the right family, the right community, getting the right community support that's going to push you forward. God bless you. You're lucky. But for the majority of people who want to be successful, all right, you may not have that handout. But we're saying here to you, it don't have to be that way. Because you have Shivani, you have Frank, you have Paul, you have myself, who are going to be that mentor, who is going to be that coach, who is going to be part of your support community to push you forward. You just have to come to us thinking big, all right? Come to us wanting to achieve more. And we have an entire ecosystem that is set up to move you forward. You want to start business? No problem. We're going to help you with that. You need capital? That's no problem. Access to market? We're going to help you to that. Project support? We're going to help you with that. You need to nurture the right leadership mindset in your organization? We are going to help you with that. We have a tested, built-out ecosystem to propel you forward, to leapfrog your dreams, your hopes, and aspirations. So when you're ready to start thinking big and achieving big things, I encourage you to reach out to us. With that being said, I want to thank my team for being here today. Paul, who is a financial expert, he helps you to access capital. Shivani, who works with you on your projects. Everything is a project, and she has the expertise to help you navigate that. Frank, who is an economist and leader by profession, who really helps you to understand how to develop a master leadership mindset. Well, me, I wear many hats, right? I wear many hats. So I want to say with that, thank you for the audience from around the world who is looking at this program today. Believe in yourself. All right. Detox from that negative sense of self. Detox from that negative sense of purpose. Detox from that negative sense of direction. And put yourself on that pathway where you can now say, I am going to be the author that is writing my book now. I'm the author. I'm the maker or the breaker of my destiny. And I ain't breaking no destiny. I'm building a strong destiny. And know that you have a team of people who is here to help you champion your dreams, your hopes, and your aspiration. With that being said, do have a great rest of the week ahead of you. Do continue to enjoy the Valentine's Day. Show love, spread love, make that someone in your life feel special. Bye.